Hello everyone, I have played 500 hours of the Chinese release of Honor of Kings World as we are nearing the end of Season 0. Today, I'll be going over all the classes and trying to help you decide which characters fit your role. Honor of Kings World uses a class system called Flow Styles, and a style has a specific character look bound to them. For example, the Power of Time Flow style character is the small character here named Sunbin. If you don't want to play as a small character, you could turn off the Metamorphosis feature and keep your look of the main character that you have customized and created at the beginning of the game. Also, there is no gacha for characters and there is no character dupe system. So when it comes to character system, people think of character dupes and how it breaks the game. None of that in here. Finally, you will also need to select two characters and swap between them using the tab key. So keep that in mind when you decide to select which characters fits your playstyle. Now let's go over the character roles in PvE. First of all, the game doesn't force you to play a Trinity system, but it does have three types of roles, starting with Clash. These characters pull threat and have a wide arsenal of survivability. However, they are the hardest and most challenging characters to master. Even though they sound like they are tanks, they actually deal large amounts of damage, so think of them more as like a bruiser type character. Assault are characters that classify as main damage dealers and are usually the go-to if you want to be the MVP at the end of dungeons or any content. There are different types of assault characters ranging from shield breakers, airborne combos, timing attack based characters, and so much more. The third role is support. You're likely to run at least one support character in your builds if you want to deal massive amounts of damage or just for survivability. The support characters can buff your character's attack, freeze time, heal the team, or even be built as a DPS depending on which character or support character you're going to build. I will be making a detailed guide on these characters later along with builds, but for now, let's keep it short and move on to the next part of the guide, which is Flow Styles, which is also known as the playable characters of the game. Blade of the Defiance, also known as Kaiser, is a popular choice early on. There are only two characters in the game that can parry or negate attacks completely, and Kaiser is the best one out of them all. Blade of Defiance is actually one of the easiest characters to play, but mastering him and playing him the right way takes a bit of patience. His parry playstyle is very rewarding and you can perform an infinite amount of parry as long as you don't miss it, because if you do, it does go on cooldown. His ultimate also gives him demonic armor, which greatly increases all of his damage for 12 seconds. He also has a lot of invulnerable frames in his skills. Even though he is a Clash character that pulls threat, he can actually pump out a lot of damage later on with the right support character and the right build. If you want a character that can parry, then Kaiser is definitely the character for you. Twinform Edges, also known as Mulan, is a character that greatly scales off skill attacks. She is one of the hardest classes to master because she wields both a great sword and dual swords. Mastering this character will require you to manage her stacks, stance changing, skill cooldowns, and her unique negating parry move. Every time she swaps weapons, she can negate incoming damage with perfect timing, which is she will not take any damage. You could also negate incoming damage with her greatsword's charge skill by tapping it or charging it and let it go when the boss is about to hit you. Her ultimate sends the enemy flying when you unleash a devastating 3-hit combo. Her kit later on makes her extremely strong, especially if you negate incoming attacks perfectly. Her endgame set also requires you not to get hit, because the more you don't get hit, the more stacks you can build up. So keep that in mind when you are deciding to invest in Mulan for endgame. So, are you looking for a high skill cap challenging character to master? Then Mulan is the perfect choice for you. Scarlet Waltz, also known as Lychill, is the do or die class of the game. People say that she's the hardest character to play mainly because you're going to be nearly dead or under 50% HP every team fight. Every time you attack with this character, you will sacrifice health for more damage. Unlike the other two Clash characters that I just previewed, she doesn't parry or negate any incoming damage. Instead, you can perfect dodge attacks. When you perfect dodge with her skill, it also reduces the skill cooldown, which is very helpful. Theoretically, she is a character that sounds strong on paper because she's always at low health, but she seems like she's the weakest out of all the Clash characters. I've made this character since release with full set gears, and while I'm not satisfied with her damage, her playstyle is the only reason why I continue to invest in her further on. She has two stances, a DPS stance, which consumes your health every time you attack, and the default stance, which restores 60% health every time you use her healing skill. Her ult unleashes an AoE damage around her with nothing special to it. Do you like living on the edge or a character that attacks extremely fast? Well, Lychill will satisfy that thrilling, always in danger feeling for you. There are currently 4 assault characters in Season 0, and 2 are the main meta for dealing ridiculous amounts of damage, starting with Demonbane arrows, also known as Garo. She is an archer that can continuously deal damage consistently at a distance. She is the number 1 choice and is one of the most played assault characters due to how she is easy to play and master. She can also enchant her arrows with a limited amount of shots, further increasing her damage. She is able to cast a domain that increases her critical chance by 20%, and her ult sends a mega charge arrow at the enemy, dealing huge burst damage. Honestly, she makes not only the PvE combat easier, but all of your overworld exploration is much more efficient with her in your team, as there are a good amount of exploration that requires you to shoot at targets at a distance. So, are you looking to play the game in easy mode? Then Garo is the character for you, as she is very casual, friendly, and would definitely recommend for starters. The other meta character in Season 0 that excels in damage is Sword of the Stars, also known as Novar or Yao. He starts off a little bit weak, but once you start gearing him up for endgame, he is easily one of the 2 strongest damage dealer of the game. His playstyle is a bit skill spammy, so you need to work out your rotations. I would say he's about medium difficulty in terms of playing, but mastering him with perfect rotations will take some time to get used to. Every time he performs 3 skills, you can cast an enhanced skill for free. His ultimate unleashes 6 attacks in the different directions. If your playstyle is more combo or air skill pumps and you want to carry everyone in dungeons and all the content in the game, then Sword of the Stars is definitely the character you should play. He will start off weak, but it will be worth it later on, especially when you start clearing endgame dungeons and you can see the ridiculous amounts of damage at the MVP screen. Primal Flow is the main character, also known as You. They made this main character of the game somewhat challenging to play because you can't spam the basic attacks. At the end of all your skills, you can trigger a basic attack, then wait 1 second and press the basic attack again with perfect timing. The MC is well known for excelling in PvP combat, as you can execute long string of combos with them. The MC's damage isn't as busted as Garo or Novar, but is good enough to clear most of the content. As for the ultimate, it's a powerful move where the MC jumps in the air and unleashes a devastating single slash ahead. I feel like most players are going to end up replacing the MC as soon as they find a different assault character or someone that fits their playstyle. I currently suggest not investing too much in the MC at the moment and focus on the other characters. If you like doing some Devil May Cry combos with perfect timing on attacks, then you definitely want to play the Primal Flow. Also, if you want to be more PvP focused, then actually you don't even need to level up Primal Flow for PvP because everything is equalized. The last assault character is Fire Cannons, also known as Mengya. Normally you would think that artillery character would be the strongest damage dealer in the game, but that doesn't seem to be the case here. Mengya is a character that focuses on dealing damage from afar, unleashing a barrage of bullets, rockets, grenades, and an ultimate that unleashes everything on the target. The playstyle of this character is to build up your heat gauge, and once it's full, you can press Z to activate his limit break mode, where your basic attacks deal more damage and launches extra rockets and all that stuff. I haven't seen much people build Mengya at all, so if you're looking for another easy character to pick up, Mengya is that character. Although he isn't currently the meta in this Season 0, he might shine later on in future seasons. So, do you want to play the underdog of all the DPS? Then try out Mengya. Power of Time, also known as Sunbin, is one of my favorite support characters because not only he can do huge amounts of skill damage, his overall team value is insanely good for endgame. He has the ability to slow down enemies and almost put them to a complete stop. This is especially sought after in the endgame content such as Scourges, which is a boss rush like mode, or even daily dungeons. When you and your team breaks the boss stance, the boss will enter a stance broken status and take increased damage during this phase. During this time, the stance bar will gradually refill back to full within a short time frame. However, if you have Sunbin, you can use his ultimate and you can stop this gauge completely and everyone can deal way more damage within the time window. His intro skill also performs a slowdown time and is just very good value character overall. So, do you want to play a support character that not only helps yourself, but everyone in your team? Then Sunbin is definitely the right character for you as he pairs exceptionally well with almost everyone. Mechwright, also known as Luban, was one of the meta characters during Season 0, mainly because he can provide a shield that buffs your critical damage by 48%, which is huge for DPS nerds who want to min-max damage. I actually leveled him up and the damage difference is quite noticeable. Most people like to pair him up with any assault characters like Garo or Novar. His playstyle is usually just spamming skills until your shield skill is up and ready, and then you bench him. Once the boss is about to be status broken, you swap back to him, activate your shield, and then back to your main DPS or assault character and deal an insane amount of damage. You could also transform into a mega cute bear, but to be honest, I rarely use this. Do you want to buff your assault character's damage or enjoy seeing huge numbers pop up claiming that MVP at the end of dungeons? Then Luban is the perfect support only for you. Frostbloom, also known as Princess Frost, is actually one of the all-rounder support characters. She was mainly sought after her shield capabilities early on and the ability to freeze enemies and bosses. This flow style wasn't too popular because she was paired up with Lychill, the Scarlet Waltz, but as the season progressed, people started discovering and playing her as a DPS mage, and it actually worked. Anyway, her general playstyle is to collect crystals and consume them by holding your basic attack or skill. For example, if you have lots of crystals, you can hold your freeze skill longer so that when it lands, the freeze on the bosses lasts a lot longer. Her ultimate has a relatively low cooldown and you can almost keep it up at all times if built properly. Do you want to play a non-meta DPS character or be a magician type nuker in a game? Well, Princess Frost is that character for you. You can either build her as a support or a DPS for endgame. Grace of Lotus, also known as Shye, is a support character that pretty much does everything. She is a perfect choice for players who are new to the game and want to heal yourself or party members. She's also capable of pulling enemies in together, which is huge for endgame dungeons, along with the ability to increase your damage percent and skill power percent for you and your party. Do you want to play a character that can slightly sustain your team and prevent them from dying? Then Shye is a good choice for you as she can heal your teammates back to full. Are healers necessary in the game? Not at all, but it does make content easier as there are bosses or mechanics that can wipe or leave your team at critical HP or near death. If you die in this game, it's not the clash or the support's fault, it's your skill issue. And that should sum up all the playable characters in Honor of Kings World Season 0. There is more depth to every character in terms of skill variance, but this was just a quick summary of them. I will write detailed guides of some of these characters later on, along with showcasing various builds. The video has dragged on way too long, so make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. I will see you all in the next one.